Shalom. All thanks and praises unto our power, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Wabrakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect throughout the four corners of this whole entire earth, no matter where, whom they may be, or what they may look like. Pushing out this purified truth to the rest of the church who believe as well. You men who may not be teachers or prophets, you women, sons, and daughters as well. And the water to Yahawashi, because without him enduring and going to that cross for the nation of Israel and the nation of Israel alone, none of this would even be possible whatsoever. Okay? Let's go to the book of Psalms, chapter 102. And I'm going to go to verse 1. Psalms 102. Matter of fact, let's jump down. Verse 6, I am like a pelican of the wilderness. And when you think of a wilderness, you don't think of a place where there's a lot of people just hanging out, having a good time. When you think of the wilderness, you think of empty and desolate. I am like an owl of the desert. Same thing with the desert. You're not going to go to some desert and find just, thousands of people just hanging out. It's going to be a desolate location. I watch and am as a sparrow alone upon the housetop. So being in this truth, because many people come against it, the majority of people come against this truth. So it can feel like you're alone. It can feel like you're in the middle of a desert. It can feel like you're in the wilderness or you're on the housetop because you can feel alone. But that's okay, though. This is a part of what we have to go through so that we may receive the prize. When you go to the book of Ezekiel, the reason why we feel alone, let's touch on the book of Ezekiel, chapter 11 and verse 14. Again, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, thy brethren, even thy brethren, the men of thy kindred, and all the house of Israel, holy are they, unto whom the inhabitants of Jerusalem have said, Get you far from the Lord, unto us is this land given in possession. Therefore say, thus saith the Lord power, although I have cast them far off among the heathen, and although I have scattered them among the countries, yet will I be to them as a little sanctuary in the countries where they shall come. So the reason why we may feel alone, just like a sparrow on a housetop, okay? Some of us brothers, we actually teach alone, okay? But even if you're in a camp, that doesn't take away from you have moments where you feel alone also. Because see, in this path, on this journey, on this lonely path to salvation, as I like to call it, because this is a lonely path to salvation, it may feel like it's just you. And we understand that's not the case. But, the people of this world, they seek for validation in numbers. And when they get to feeling left out or alone, their mindset is if you can't beat them, join them. All right. 1 Kings chapter 19 and verse 5. And as he lay and slept under a juniper tree, behold, an angel touched him and said unto him, Arise and eat. So this was an angel speaking unto Elijah. And he looked, and behold, there was a cake baking on the coals and a cruse of water at his head. And he did eat and drink and laid him down again. And the angel of the Lord came again the second time and touched him and said, Arise and eat, because the journey is too great for thee. And he arose and did eat and drink and went in the strength of that meat 40 days and 40 nights unto Oreb, the mount of the power. That was some great food, man. If you can eat a meal, okay, and then go 40 days without eating, you got your nutrients. In this society, you eat, and then within 2 hours, you looking for the next meal in the refrigerator, then you open it up, you might not have shit. You walk away from the refrigerator, 15 minutes later, you back like something just, popped up. Okay. And let's go to verse 9. And he came thither unto a cave and lodged there. And behold, the word of the Lord came to him, and he said unto him, What doest thou here, Elijah? And he said, I have been very jealous for the Lord power of hosts. For the children of Israel have forsaken thy covenant, thrown down thine altars, and slain thy prophets with the sword. And I, even I, only am left, and they seek my life to take it away. So Elijah, he felt like he was the only prophet left. He was the last man of the Lord left. It felt like, he was in a desert place. He felt like he was in the wilderness. He felt like he was on the housetop dwelling alone. And, being in this truth, it gets like that, man. But we're not the only ones. We're not in this alone. And it's beautiful that for brothers like myself who do teach alone, I get strengthened and inspired when I see other men doing what I'm doing, whether you came in before or after me. I respect you the same. I actually honor the fact that you're doing this, as long as I, feel in my spirit that you're sincere. Let's jump down to 15. And the Lord said unto him, Go, return on the way to the wilderness of Damascus. And when thou comest, anoint Hazael to be king over Syria. Let's jump to 18. Yet I have left me 7,000 in Israel, all the knees which have not bowed unto Baal, and every mouth which hath not kissed him. Okay. Just like the scriptures tells us to kiss the Son. Okay. You had Israelites kissing another Lord, basically worshiping and serving another Lord, when we are to serve Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh has always set aside a remnant, and that remnant was always a smaller number compared to the majority. So the Lord will always leave a remnant of Israelites to not bow down to wickedness, who are going to serve Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, so no matter how alone we may feel, at the end of the day, we're not alone. Okay. And we have to be soldiers in this truth. And that word soldier goes into the word solitude. Okay. Let's go to the book of Matthews. Matthews chapter 9 and 37. Then saith he unto his disciples, The harvest truly is plenteous, but the laborers are few. So there's not a lot of men compared to the men who are not doing this. All right. It's a very small number of men who are carrying the cross. OK, laboring within this ministry. All right. Verse 38. Pray ye therefore the Lord of the harvest that he will send forth laborers into his harvest. So we're hoping that more men come into this truth, because there is a lot of work to be done. Although we're at the very end, OK, there's still work to be done. That's why we're here doing the work now. All right. So we labor in hopes to be delivered. We want salvation, and we understand this pleases the Lord. But a lot of laborers, they might get disgruntled because you come into this and it's like no one's listening to you. But, this isn't for everybody. Again, this is for the elect of the nation of Israel. Out of all the nation, the elect are the only wise Israelites. All these other Israelites, OK, they're just dumb as hell, and they're going to stay dumb. Let's go to the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 16. Then said I, wisdom is better than strength. So wisdom is better than strength, but yet you have so many men, breaking their bodies to go work out at the gym 7 days a week, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours a day. You got people who do that shit, man. It's weird. All right. You're supposed to want to keep up on yourself. But guess what? You have a lot of men who will do that, but they won't take any time. And I'm speaking about Israelite men, but they won't take any time to come into this labor and labor forth. So for the men who are laboring, seeing that it is a heavy task, you might feel alone. All right. Then said I, wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised and his words are not heard. So our words are not heard because we're like a sparrow on a housetop. We're sitting alone in this thing. You might have a camp of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 men, but 7 men compared to a whole city of people who aren't listening. All right. It's like you're alone because your words aren't being heard. Verse 17, the words of wise men are heard in quiet. So our words are actually being heard in quiet. There's not a lot of people who actually consider and ponder on the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. OK, the words of wise men are heard in quiet more than the cry of him that ruleth among fools. So a fool may have a lot of followers. OK, but it's in vain. At the end of the day, it's not going to get anywhere. It's the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai that are going to go out and not be void, not the words of man. Wisdom is better than weapons of war, but one sinner destroyeth much good. So wisdom is better than strength. Wisdom is also better than weapons of war. But yet we speak wisdom and it's like no one's listening. No one cares. Your family or whoever else, they looking at you sideways. They miss the old you, so to speak. OK, you get the feeling of feeling separated from your family. But that's supposed to happen. OK, let's go to I'm going to close it with this because I have to get ready for work. Psalms 88 and verse 6. Thou hast laid me in the lowest pit, in darkness, in the deeps. OK, and if you're in the lowest pit in darkness in the deeps, you'll also feel alone. OK, thy wrath lieth hard upon me, and thou hast afflicted me with all thy waves. Thou hast put away mine acquaintance far from me. Thou hast made me an abomination unto them. I am shut up, and I cannot come forth. So, your close acquaintances, whether they be your family, whether they be your so-called friends in the world or associates, OK, all of a sudden they want to separate from you because you have the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai on you, and it can feel like you're alone. But the Lord is with us, though, man. The Lord has always been with us, and the Lord will always remain with us as long as we keep faith in him. It's all right to feel alone, but you have to understand that you're not alone at the end of the day. OK, it's a normal feeling. Being in this truth, you're going to feel many different emotions. It is an emotional roller coaster. The Lord is going to have you feeling every feeling possible known to mankind. But the Lord got us. The Lord is with us, and we're not alone. And we're actually walking the path of the righteous men before us, which is also a good sign that, we could be those men. What if? So I'm going to give all thanks and praises unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Wa Rakakwadash. Shalom.